Welcome to Well That Didn't Work, the podcast where a group of friends gets together and beats up on Udell Ilvey.
No, we don't beat up on Udell Ilvey. You beat up on Udell
I have
Ilvey.
done nothing, sir. I let the dice do the talking. No, welcome to Well That Didn't Work. We're a podcast where a group of friends gets together to pretend to be other people, creatures, and things, doing things that mostly don't work out for them. My name is Percy, and I'm your GM and your host, and with me I've got Mike.
And I'm playing Udell, and right now I am that little bag that keeps getting left on the doorstep that's lit on fire, and the doorbell gets rung.
And Chris.
I'm playing for our Dorcon. I used my good intro last time.
Jason.
I'm Lucia, and I'm wondering who I have to kill next.
And Rick.
And I am Kuklik, and I'm about to share a beer with a Force-sensitive miner.
Great intro. Love it. Keep it.
Hey, you don't know the drinking age on Terrace.
That's true. In Canada, all you have to do, when I was young, you had to just be old enough, tall enough to reach over the counter to get the beer.
Impressive. So. Well, that's really unfortunate for, elderly small people.
That's true. But it's really advantageous for 12-year-old young people. You know?
Yeah, like really tall ones.
Yes, exactly.
All right, cool. So last time on Urban Stars, Udell got crapped on. Pummeled with one hit. This tends to happen to Udell, where somebody walks in the room, hits him with one swoop, and then walks back out after he's been critted to oblivion.
That's because you love rolling triumphs on me.
I love rolling triumphs on anybody. You're just the object of my affection.
Yeah, so far I'm the only one getting shit stomped, but okay, got it.
So that happened, and in the midst of that, Lucia's real name was revealed. She is actually, and in fact, the daughter of Moff Taniel, who oversees this sector of space. Meanwhile, yes, Kuklik is trying to share a beer with a Force-sensitive miner in exchange for meditation lessons.
I think we just started a cult.
So
this is how the dark side starts.
Everything has gone out of hand. Everything's gone out of hand.
No, we ordered light beer.
So we're still starting the session off with 4 light side and 4 dark side points, and the Force-sensitive Vergence is still happening on Terrace, where when a point is spent, either dark side or light side, one of you guys, preferably the person rolling the dice, or flipping the point rather, will roll and see if you get a dark side or light side point. Whichever one you get, we're going to flip that many back over to that side. So if you're flipping a light side point and roll a light side point on the die, you're going to flip that one right back over and you get 2 light side effects, and vice versa for dark side. So with that, we'll start, and I'll let you guys choose. What scene do you want to start in? Do you want to start in Varho's dorm room with the space beers? Or do you want to start in the fighting pit with Lucia and Udell?
I need some recovery time. Let's go to the beer, please.
Roll that beautiful beer.
Would you like a beer?
All right, so we'll start in Varho's room. And you guys have been attempting to meditate for a little while now. Your space beers have been delivered. Your meeting with Lugnug is only 30 minutes away at this point. You woke up from a dream, so it was already kind of coming on to morning. But first things first, I want you to make a discipline check with 2 setbacks.
And I barely remember much of my training. So he's been standing on his head, trying to balance things on his feet this whole time. Just crazy things. And he's like, does this help? I'm like,
things that people did to haze you when you were...
if they even knew they were hazing me.
So
2 purples?
2 purples and 2 blacks.
The smartass in me wants to say, this is how the GM messes with you.
Yeah. All right, and I guess we're still in the same obligation.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Your obligation is going until we resolve it.
Okay. All right, and I'm hoping to basically be able to meditate to enhance my connection with my brother.
Well, I think we're trying to reestablish connection.
Right.
First.
Okay. Is that what I'm rolling for here?
Yes.
Okay, well then let's go ahead and let's give it a shot.
Roll that white die.
Yes!
Is that 2 light sides?
Two light sides.
So you can use both of those as additional upgrades. So you can essentially upgrade your check 3 times, so you would have 3 yellows at this point.
2 yellows and
Yeah,
a green.
because you had 1 yellow and a green,
Right,
right? So upgrade that green to a yellow,
right.
and then throw in a green, and then upgrade that green to a yellow.
Yellow.
Did you flip those the wrong way?
I did flip them the wrong way.
That guy
No wonder you get...
Whoa!
That got real short real quick.
Yeah, no, it would have flipped the original one back over and another one.
All right, well, I got a lot of threat and a lot of success. Look at all that threat. Oh,
Wow.
But you got 4 successes, or 3 successes after the failure cancels. So, you sit and try to, like, y'all are in here for a couple of hours. You go through a whole 6er. I should say,
Does that help or hinder?
Varho goes through a 6er while he's directing you, and as he is drinking, it's getting a little crazier with each movement that he tries to send you to go through. So, Varho, go ahead and prepare a hard cool check.
Alrighty.
This is college meditation.
That's right, college meditation. So,
We're cramming for finals.
but you finally find your Zen position, and it's going to be a hard roll, Chris.
Hard? It's
Yep.
4 or 3?
3.
3. Okay.
So you find your Zen position, and
Wow.
Boy, the dice are really weird tonight.
That's a whole lot of failure. Yeah.
No joke, I'm not, officer.
I fail with a threat and a triumph.
okay, we'll address that in a moment. You are immediately hit, Kuklik, with a wave of terror and fear as you re-enter in full consciousness this time your brother's mind. You take 5 strain.
Woof.
Yeah.
You now are not seeing him, but you're seeing through his eyes. You see this figure that previously was this shadow of blue and gold walks back into the room. And you look up. You don't direct your eyes, but you're seeing through Callist's eyes. And so as he looks up, you look up. And you see this very large, like probably times and a half of a regular human, walk through the door in shiny blue armor outlined in white and gold, and painted across his chest is a golden crate dragon. He walks into this room, and you can tell this is not a normal suit of armor. He's got this magnificent white half cape draped across his right shoulder going down his back. And he comes in and pulls off a helmet with 2 large red eyes that you can tell are made for like infrared vision or something like that. Takes off this helmet and puts it down, and you see he looks human, but he's got like veins popping from his neck, and they're like a purple and a blue on the edge. And you can tell he's strained. Something is connecting him to the suit. And he's got black hair pulled back in a tight ponytail. And he looks down at Callist and whispers something in his ear, but you're not quite able to gather sound. Do you want to roll another check?
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to be another meditation check, same difficulty, so 2 purple, 2 black. This time, roll in 1 force die. Do you want to spend any points? You've got a lot of them
I do.
for now.
Yes, we'll go ahead and do that again.
Okay.
And
2
2
lights
more
again.
light side points.
All right. things are on you guys' side now, so bump that up to 3 yellows again. You got to be able to hold the dice in your hand. That is a rule.
You can roll no more die than you can hold in your hand. Good thing I've got big hands. Okay. Oh, yeah, a lot of success. And 1 dark side point. But 5 success. No, 5 success and 1 threat.
So, in order for you to successfully expand into getting his hearing as well, you're going to have to cause your brother some pain. That's what that dark side pip is for. So you will succeed dramatically. No one will notice that you've kind of taken over, but you're essentially, without taking over his motor function, taking over your brother's senses.
Well, do I know that I'm going to cause him pain when I do this?
You get a sense that there's something stopping you, and as you push against it, you can almost feel him pushing back, like, please don't go there.
I've got to know. I'm going to push through.
Okay. So you push through. You have to take 1 strain. And go ahead and flip your sheet over. And somewhere on the back, write conflict. You're not going to find you're using the edge character sheet, so write conflict. And put a number 1 there.
I'm already moving down the dark side.
And yeah, well, not yet. We're going to roll for your conflict at the end.
Okay.
So yeah, you push through, and you can feel like a screeching in your own ears as you kind of mesh your senses with his senses, and you hear this person whisper, "Now, if you can't complete this, we've found someone else who might. I think you came here with a brother, yes?" And you feel, now you've taken over all of his senses. You can't speak for him, but that just means that he's not speaking. But you can feel his body trembling. I know that you know how to work this, or you know how to figure it out. You've been here for 2 months, Callist. Taniel cannot wait much longer. And then he stands up, and you hear something like kind of beep in his ear, like a comm link, and he stands up and he touches his shoulder and says, "Empirico?" "Yes, Moff. Yes, I'll be right there." And he pats you. You feel a heavy armored hand pat you on the shoulder, as Callist, and he walks back out the door carrying his helmet in his hand. And you are sucked out.
Oh, I can't communicate with Callist?
No, you've taken over his senses entirely.
But I can't communicate.
So he would not hear anything that you tried to say. So take 1 more strain for the threat that you rolled. And as you are sucked out of this connection, more forced out by Callist, you see once again the Star Destroyer, and you see that it's being docked by Lambda class shuttles, and the people stepping out of these shuttles are well dressed. There's some sort of gala being held in one of the halls on the Star Destroyer. These people are dressed real fancy. And it sucks you back into your own body.
You say being docked, you mean that...
the Lambdas they're coming into the docking bay, like the hangar. Your vision is taking you through the hangar of the Star Destroyer, which is being populated now by fancy people.
And can I tell the Star Destroyer is in orbit around Taurus, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah, it sucks you all the way. You see the upper city, you go through the middle city, and back into your body.
Oh. Oh. Varho, I did it. I was able to connect with Callist. But
That's great.
how many of these beers have you had?
How many did they send?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I didn't drink one.
I lost count after 4.
Oh.
Okay, so what did you roll again, Chris?
I failed with a threat and a triumph.
Okay, cool. So you for sure take a strain.
Yeah.
This strain coming from that kind of ripple in the force as you feel Keklik basically invasively invade someone else's like force potential.
Mm-hmm.
He had literally had to force himself into Callist's body, and that's a tangible feeling for a force sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, take 1 strain for that, and your triumph on a cool roll. What do you?
He likes beer.
I think
I hide it really well.
That's right.
I think the
He can drink.
the easy explanation would be like you get an upgrade on your next social check as long as like it's shortly after now, because like alcohol has a charismatic effect on you.
That sounds good.
It's a good thing something does. All right.
So basically, like you feel very, very, very confident.
I feel good.
Well, good thing you didn't roll a despair.
We got this.
But I may have hurt Callist. I felt something pushing back, and it might have been him. I hope I did not hurt him. Was that bad? I felt like I needed the information.
You can roll a knowledge lore check, Chris, to see if you know anything about that. That would be an average check with a setback because it's been a while since you've studied the Force.
Yeah, but this light side dark side thing is fairly basic.
Yeah. Yeah, which is why it's just an average check.
Woof.
Nope.
Your memory has failed you. Any advantages?
I got 3 advantage though.
Okay. Total, like left over?
2 advantage left over.
2 left over? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So yeah, you don't actually know about that in particular, but with your advantage, you can have.
Sounds like resisting is not a good thing. I know that leads to bad paths, but I don't know specifically what that is, what it's called,
Sure.
how it works. It's just a general.
I'll say
do stuff like that.
your advantages can be that you remember another piece of that technique that you were taught. Now you've never practiced it, so you don't really know, but it would take one of the 2 setbacks away from him if he tried it again.
Okay.
So basically, like you're able to impart that information, and it lowers your difficulty by 1 setback to make that connection.
Oh, okay. Okay. So in the future.
Yes.
I did find out he is being interrogated by Empirico. He is a very nasty person. What do you know about him?
I know that name. I think I've written down that name. Yes.
Yes. I know that I talked to that the contractor told me that some men of his took Callist from the meeting that he had.
Sounds like we need to find this Empirico now more than ever.
He's on the Star Destroyer, and he answers to a moth.
And I think this is a good place to screen wipe and go over to Lukia and Udell. Both of you guys make a cool check. Udell, you have no difficulty because this is to heal strain. Lukia, yours is going to be just 1 red with a boost. Because of what we talked about, like you guys have a mutual enemy in this
Okay.
scenario.
Cool. I can dig that.
Yeah.
Sorry up front, Mike, if this is the despair. Just a failure. With an advantage.
Mike, how many stress did you regain? You regained for each success.
I regained 1, but I did get 3 advantage.
Okay, so you can upgrade a check, your next check, or upgrade the difficulty of your opponent's next check.
All right.
Did I heal any strain from all those successes that I got?
No.
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 Okay.
So, Lucia, you don't keep your cool.
Nope.
You've been shot at. You were stopped right next to Udell. What is your instinct right now?
Damage control.
But what does that mean? That's just a
Well,
phrase.
I know.
What
it
do you
is.
do?
So, the cool check was to keep me sensible enough to not harm a potential ally.
Well, it was more to recognize that he was an actual ally.
Right.
So right now, you just don't recognize that.
Right. Because I heard my real name for the first time in over a year. And it's sending to the fore a lot of pent-up stuff.
Yeah.
So I would probably either punch the first thing in front of me or stab it. I did not say that my sword was out and or drawn, so I'll let the GM decide, do I pull it out or do I not?
It's up to you.
I probably wouldn't. I'm just going to punch a thing.
Okay. Udell, you're now less stressed currently. What would be kind of your response? We're going to play this out kind of like a fate core roll. So, Jason, you're going to roll your positive dice against the negative dice of whatever Udell is going to try to do to stop this from happening.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, kind of an opposed check. So, what would you appeal to get this to stop?
I don't know how I'd actually call this out as far as a skill check would be concerned. However,
Yeah, just tell me what you would do, and I'll figure out the
ultimately, what I'd kind of do is, basically bust out with a very large curse and yell about Norris, and I'm gonna get that son of a bitch if it's the last thing I do.
Let's do a charm.
All right.
I think that sounds because you're not specifically even looking at Lucia at this point.
Nope.
You're kind of you push yourself up. You choke back whatever crocodile tears you still had, and you push yourself up on your other arm as you try to stand, and you're angrily talking to yourself. And so I think either like a charm or maybe coercion. Either one of those, whatever's strongest.
It's definitely going to be charm.
Okay. So what is your charm skill?
3 greens.
So 3 purples. Do either of you guys want to flip any points?
Yes, and I want him to upgrade.
Oh yeah, free upgrade for the difficulty.
So one of those purples should be red.
Cool.
So a second purple will be red as well. He's using a thing to upgrade. So go ahead and roll the force die.
1 dart.
That's all you've got.
I mean, at this point, it's kind of like your positives are his negatives. So go ahead and flip a skill die to yellow.
Again, be glad I went with brawn and not melee.
All right, so is that it? You're not going to upgrade? It's probably a wise choice.
I'm trying to be as nice as I can here. Like I said, I did not say that I had the sword drawn or anything, so I'm pulling my punch here. That being said, anything can happen.
It is what it is. Let the dice roll. If he ends up with another crit, he ends up with another crit.
I succeed with 2 threat, and I hit you for 6.
Okay.
Does that take you down?
No.
No. Those 2 threats are going to be a free maneuver on your part, Mike. So you get to
someone else is beating you up.
so you get to kind of reposition yourself to decide how you want to proceed. Because I don't even think you realized Lucia was there.
No, I didn't. So I'm gonna kind of
Which didn't even give me advantage on that. We played that As much punch could be pulled was pulled.
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna kind of roll to the side and kind of stand up, and then kind of lock eyes with Lukia and go, "What are you doing? I just had my best friend do this. Why you? Are you with him?"
At that point, should I make another cool check to snap out of it?
I don't think it's so much a cool check of yours. Maybe coercion on your part. What is your coercion skill, Jason?
My coercion is 1 and 1.
1 and 1. So I think it'd be 1 and 1 versus your negotiation, probably.
Okay, still 3 purples.
Well, no. I'm gonna have you roll.
Oh,
this one.
okay. So 1 red, 1 purple against 3 greens.
Yep. And then, do you want to flip?
I haven't won that yet. Let me borrow your force die.
It was his force die. You were using it
So
first.
yes,
Okay.
2 whites,
All right.
There
So
we go.
3
Yes.
upgrades for you.
3 upgrades.
Uh-huh.
You flipped the wrong way again.
I did flip the wrong way again. So it would have been a flip and then 2 flips back.
Are you upgrading?
Again, I'm...
Yeah, Jason doesn't want to win these rolls. His character is just doing it. He's out of his hands.
Son of a gun, really?
Oh, jeez.
1 advantage. Fail with 1 advantage.
Okay.
Just making it hard on you too.
No, this is the dice tonight.
But it's making a really interesting scene, so we're going to run with it. So what did you say again?
I basically said, I just had my best friend attack me. Are you with them?
Okay. So you're not, Jason, you're not convinced that means he's on your side.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean that you're convinced that he's not on your side either.
Right.
So how would you respond to that, still being wary of Udell?
Instead of punching him, because just narratively, and I don't know if I need to spend a fate point on this, but just say one of those little rock towers is behind him, and instead of punching him, I pull my sword, but I stab it right beside his head, and be like, "How can I trust anybody here?"
That's a light side boy.
I know,
Not a fate point.
but you get what I'm saying. I'm trying to interject something into the scene. That
Yeah,
isn't-
go for it. So there's not a rock pillar, but there is a training dummy.
Okay, that'll work.
That'd be better for your sword anyway.
Well aware, but
Okay, cool. So go ahead and do that. It'll be a hard check. No, we'll do average with a setback.
okay.
So regular melee with a setback to dodge your friend.
And if he fails, he stabs his friend?
No.
Because I know where that's going.
I would have to despair to do that.
There's no red dice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But he can just miss the dummy entirely.
Yeah. I could look really cool or really dumb doing this, but I fail with an advantage.
So you don't look really dumb.
No.
Just a
You
little.
meant to do that.
Like I swipe at the neck on the training dummy, and instead of connecting, I just kind of whiff, but it doesn't hit him at all.
Yeah.
So,
But do you say anything?
Yeah, I said what I said, which is, who can I trust at this point? Like, none of y'all knew who I was before, and none of y'all need to know who I am after. So it's kind of a threat, like, because I don't know that he heard or didn't hear, but he's around, and he's the closest thing to me, and I expect him to see how I'm holding back at this point. I'm just on that razor edge.
So Udell, actually, at this point, when he says that and takes the swipe, would kind of be shifting to one side, still cradling his arm, and go, well, I guess that makes 2 of us, because I don't know who to trust either now.
So Adele, you're still kind of on the ground. You haven't stood up all the way. Because you were kind of leaning on that hand, and then he came up and kind of punched. Well, I guess you did stand up because you got that free maneuver. So roll a quick perception check, easy. So just 1 purple.
Hey, a skill I'm decent at.
Don't screw
Now, if only the dice will cooperate.
They cooperated.
Looks like they did indeed.
3 success and an advantage.
You see in the dust where you were just laying, you kind of had dug into the gravel a little bit with your good arm, as you kind of winced through the pain, and you pulled up quite a bit of the dirt, and you see some paint, some scratched paint underneath.
Huh. Okay. I won't act on that until after I realize, or until after I know that I'm not going to get another sword slash at me.
Do you point it out?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm more busy. I'm busier looking at the fact that I just had a sword swipe past me. I've got Lucia pissed off. Just been through a world of crap. I'm hurting. It's a bad day at the office.
So what do you do? What do you say in response?
I've already said my part. I guess that makes two
she's
of us.
asked, who can you trust? You say that makes two of us. So basically, like, you're kind of either kill me or don't.
It's a stare off at this point.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm doing too. I'm just waiting to see kind of who flinches first, and after about 30 seconds, I'm just gonna literally jam my sword down into this kind of rocky, dusty dirt, and I don't walk away completely, but I kind of do that like backwards pace and turn, like trying to just let the anger out. Like, I'm gonna yell probably. I'm not gonna do it into the mics. Sorry guys. Don't rip headphone users, but not gonna yell tonight. And just kind of like tense, trying to let that go, because I don't want to hurt him. That's the clear thing. But I need to punch something. I need to hurt somebody. People know, and I'm not about to try to go after two people who would just curb stomp me. I'm that smart enough to know where,
And as soon as Lucia kind of turns around and kind of lets out that yell, I'll kind of say, Lucia, you may not believe me, but I'm not your enemy. I think we have a common enemy.
You're not wrong. But it's been a long time since I've been able to trust anybody.
Well, that's two of us. There's a long reason why I'm on this planet.
Same.
So I'll kind of point down at the sword and say, you going to pick that up or are you going to use it on me?
I pick it up and sheath it.
So about that moment, I'll start kicking some of that gravel off to the side where I noticed the paint. And kind of make it obvious that I'm taking a good look at it.
Okay. So you kind of kick up this paint, and you recognize you don't recognize what it is. You see a symbol on the ground. It's a shield with 3 swords with no hilts. Very minimalistic looking. The shield is round, not pointed, not like a knight's shield. And the swords are, the two on the one on the left and right are slightly smaller than the third.
Okay. Lucia, you've been here longer than I have. Do you know what this is?
You don't.
It would have been a daunting or impossible.
Roll me a knowledge check with a boost die. Knowledge of lore.
Lore? Okay. Not underworld?
Correct.
I mean, we are in the underworld, but not technically. And what's the difficulty?
It's going to be hard.
Is this one that I would make as well, even though...
I don't think you would have any idea. Do you want to spend a point?
Nope. Oh, sorry.
I think you should. You have a lot to go on.
You You want to get some points back.
I want you to find out this information, but I don't think the dice in your hand are strong enough.
Anything could happen, and even then, with an upgrade, even if I pip out, we'll do it just to see. But this could go poorly or badly.
Badly-ish.
I'm assuming.
No, I thought you were successful. You're always you get your upgrade.
Yeah, you do get your upgrade.
Oh.
And I'm not upgrading your check.
Oh, okay. What are you going to do then?
Oh, don't worry about it.
GM Fiat?
You get the yellow, though.
You do get the yellow.
I am. I just was going back to get the purple that I...
Okay.
Just trying to... Anyway. Knocking things about.
I don't think you got it.
Nope.
Lots of advantage, but nothing else. Ended up with 3 advantage. No success.
Maybe you know someone that would know what the symbol means.
Yeah, so you don't know what the symbol means, but you have seen it before. It's etched into the center of Lugnug's desk.
Cool.
So, do you know what this is?
I've seen it before. I have an idea of what it could be, and that's really all it is. It's one of those things where
Yeah, well, are you going to let him know where you've seen it before?
I still don't exactly trust him, and I'm still a little hot, so probably not, just because I'm not still thinking truly rationally, but I am going to say we should take that to my employer, and because again, I'm just, who do I even trust? So even Lugnug at this point is just like,
Yeah.
off my good list.
So, I'm going to move the gravel to kind of cover everything back up again.
Good idea. So, you guys, all 4, approach Lugnug's office from different ends of the hallway at basically the same time.
Before we do, I want to ask Varho a question.
Okay. Yeah, ask him on the way.
Varho,
Yes.
the fact that I had the dream and I was able to contact my brother, does that mean that I am force sensitive?
I believe it does. You should be careful who you tell.
Oh?
The Empire does not look kindly upon force sensitives that they don't control.
I believe that is something that I do know. So, I will be able to use the Force?
With some training, it's possible. I think you've used it a little bit tonight already.
Yes, and I may have hurt my brother to get what I wanted. Thank you for your help. We must meet Lugnug.
Yes.
Cool. So now you guys all approach at the same time, reaching the office.
Odell, what happened to you? Oh my goodness, come here. Stim pack, medical kit.
Step back, 5 health.
I can use it.
Medical kit. He has a sling available, so your arm's not just
You
dangling.
need
there.
a bandolier of stim packs.
I need an automatic weapon that launches them.
and
Fires backwards.
somebody else to use it that you can trust.
I mean, after 5 darts, they'd be useless,
That's okay.
according to FFG.
Well, but the funny thing is with that's a total passive-aggressive kind of weapon. So, I mean, it's like Star Wars Nerf. I mean,
take the healing.
I almost stabbed you. I thought about it. I was like, I could just stab him with one really hard. You take some wounds, but you get healed from it immediately.
All right. So you guys enter Lugnug's office. Do you, Luika and Udell, do you let the other 2 go into their appointment first, or do you follow them in? Or do you maybe
Do you
invite
want to
them?
roll to see if we arrive at the same time?
No, you arrive at the same time.
Oh, we do arrive at the
Yeah.
same time?
Like no roughshod, it was fortuitous.
Yes.
Almost like the GM had planned it that way.
Yeah.
I'm barging in.
Okay, cool. So
I'm
you
just barging right in.
you walk in without even talking about it. Okay, got it. So you let Varho dress your wounds, and then you're like, bye. All right.
I'm not done.
So you walk
will
in,
not be done for a few more days.
and Lugnug removes his comically small glasses and looks up at you, Dill. Well, you're not who I was expecting.
Well, Lugnug, I think we have a problem.
He sits back in his chair. What problem might that be?
I think we have several problems.
Oh, you're here too. He puts his glasses back on. Oh, the whole gang.
Yes.
Have you guys been up all night? You look like crap.
Yes, we have. And we have
I'm not there.
problems.
Are you standing in the hallway?
I'm literally just outside the door.
Oh, okay.
Like a normal...
I mean, he would know that you're... Like, he would look at his monitor at that. He doesn't have, like, no cameras pointed at his office.
No, I would know that, but that's why I'm waiting. Like,
Sure.
I'm still playing the dutiful...
Sure, so I guess he offers for you to come inside as well. Luika, come on in.
Okay, then I kind of poke my head in, look around. Again, even him, I'm like a budging respect, but these two still, well, this one too brutally honest, and this one
He's a co-op.
red flags.
So, at that point, I'm going to take the opportunity, Udell to take the opportunity to look at him and say, my former business associate, Norris, apparently has had some very loose lips lately. And I look over at Kuklik and say, he's told someone that you're here.
Well, I don't exactly... I do sort of stand out in a crowd, so why would that be a difference?
I'm hoping that maybe Lugnug here can help us out with that, but he said the moment that he mentioned that he saw and knew who you were, and that they know where I'm staying, and assume that you're in the same place, that the conversation abruptly ended. That's usually not good in general conversation.
I see. That may answer a question or some information that I have found out.
And then he attacked me.
Again? Who? What is it with you, Udell? Every time I see you, you are beat all to heck, and it has been someone you knew.
Need to be better friends, dude.
I didn't know the first guy.
He knew you,
I think that was his job.
yes, because someone that you knew hired him to do that.
I can't deny that.
That's fair.
We are all in danger because of your friends?
I wouldn't call them friends anymore.
Well, you shouldn't have called them friends to begin with.
Kuklik,
Yes,
what do you know?
and you can see that he's like thinking. Okay, you know, it's real noticeable that he's kind of thinking, and he's cocking his head, and he looks over at Varho, and I
Spit it out.
I made contact with my brother. As you know, Verpine can communicate with each other. And I think he was able to communicate with me via our antennas. And I was able to hear some things, and he shared some information with me.
Roll a deception.
That's one of my best stats.
It's a plausible story.
It is a plausible story.
That should give him a boost.
Oh,
Actually.
you're definitely going to get a boost. But the
It's his first
difficulty,
attempt at lying.
the
Double
difficulty
setback.
is going to be 2 red and 1 purple because of Lugnug's adversary.
You're right. Well, plus he's probably experienced it.
Well, he also
people
has
lying
spent
to him.
quite a bit of time with your brother's co-prisoner
Uh,
who lost his antenna. Yeah, he's not buying it. In fact, you take one strain.
again, another one? I got
Another
nothing
one.
left. Wait, do we recover any at night? Nope.
Nope.
You just spent all night up.
That's true. But I was meditating, and I've read books, and meditation is supposed to heal you.
Not if
calm
your
you.
meditation leads you to basically punching through your brother's brain. That's not really a healing experience.
That could be, especially for him.
All right. Yeah, so he's not buying it. He says, I don't think you're giving me the whole story, Click. And I can't help you if you're not honest with me.
Well, I know where my brother is, and he is on the Star Destroyer.
That's quite a bit of recon you did over there. How'd you
Yes.
find that out?
Well, I told you that he told me that.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
Well, I am sorry for that, but the information is accurate. And he is in the hands of a gentleman named Empirico on this Star Destroyer, who was
Wait, what?
Empirico.
He's
Definitely-
on the destroyer?
He is on the Star
You
Destroyer.
know it was Empirico?
That is what my brother told me.
What did he look like?
He said he was wearing silver and gold and blue armor, that a very, very large gentleman with blue veins popping out of his neck. And he was wearing a helmet, some sort of armor. And he was hearing these strange music in the background. I could not make out.
Great recovery. Gotta love you, Rick.
That was a little bit of technical professionalism.
It was elevator music.
Go on.
As
And-
Lugnug hangs up his phone.
As we start every session by putting everything on mute or vibrate.
But he is...
Hold on, time out. Was that the trash alarm?
It was.
That makes it even better.
It's like, wait a minute. There was one thing Percy said before he sat down.
I did, and I didn't do it anyway.
That sounds like something I would do.
Click or you?
Me. No, Click would get it right.
Or blame somebody else for getting it wrong. The phone engineers,
That's right.
they set those alarms to be too loud.
That's faulty engineering. If I had something to do with it, the alarm would not go off when you did not want it to.
Right. What else do you share with him?
And he answered to a moth. And I've heard that is an official, is it not? For the Empire?
He clenches his fist for the first time. Like, you've never seen Lugnug emotional in any way. And he clenches his fist around a pin. I don't know, they don't use pins in Star Wars. Around a paperweight. They don't have paper. What do they even put on desks in Star Wars?
Well, they probably
Multiple
put,
data pads.
yeah, or little starship models or something like that.
It's probably like a stylus type thing, not a pin.
He might have a little dagger there, or ceremonial something.
Sure, a dagger. I like that idea. He wraps his hand around a dagger that's sitting kind of on the edge of his desk that he has there for protective purposes, in case anybody were to attempt to enter his office in an aggressive way. And he kind of slowly brings it under the table, and you can tell he's kind of rubbing the dagger forcefully on his leg, trying to calm himself down. Empirico is worth the moth.
That is what I was told, that he was talking to him. They are doing experiments on my brother. And my brother has knowledge that must not fall into the Empire's hands. We must get him off of there, or the Empire will get this information.
That paragraph with the moth means something to you, doesn't it?
Well, and I was just about to ask, discipline check every time he mentions the moth.
No, you don't need to do that. No. We don't want to slow... The moth is going to get mentioned quite a bit in the next few episodes. I don't want to slow it down too much.
No, but just because...
That's why we don't make a perception check every 10 steps.
Yeah, but I'm fresh off of the reveal, so that's...
Sure. That's what those discipline checks were for previously. We're not going to worry about that. At this point, you've been able to cool down.
Okay.
And you seeing Lugnug visibly upset about this is helping you to realize, like, you're not alone here. And so
I'm cool with that. That's fine. It's just...
Yeah. He's forcibly rubbing this dagger on his leg, and he says, Lugia,
Yeah, boss.
contact the Baron, which is another pit boss that you know.
Yep. I kind of shrug. Yes, boss. Right away.
Tell him to meet me at the wall to the middle city. Empirico has just declared war on the pits. And that's where we'll end our session.
Very good.
So, if you're interested in finding out more about this war on the pits, stop by the after party at our Patreon. If you donate just $2 a month, which is half of a Starbucks cup of coffee, you get literally almost all of our Patreon content every week, every month, everything that we put on there. There are just a couple of things that you would have to get into the $5 degree for, but we would love to see you guys over there. So if you're not going to join us there, I have been and always will be your host and your GM, Percy, and with me I had Mike.
And I'm playing Udell, and Udell right now is probably far more livid than even when he found out, the bounty hunter was after him without having Norris to back him up. His world has crumbled.
Chris.
Playing Varro Dorkhan, and he's starting to see cracks in his world appear too.
Jason.
I've fallen down a long rabbit hole. This is Lugia.
And Rick.
And I am Click, playing Click, and in the middle of despair, I see opportunity.
All right. We'll see you at the after party. Bye.